Dear friends, I'm Shanice J, your host. Thank you so much for tuning into Love Her Will, the new voice of willpower. Before I get into what we're talking about today, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Today, we're going to discuss how to love yourself during and after cancer, how to treat the physical changes that happen, and what to do just to feel pretty. Cancer can change the way you see yourself and actually change the way you look. Well, today I have Miss Sherry White to help me share with you tips and regimens to help you feel like you again by sharing her own personal journey and to do a natural makeup tutorial. Sherry is a 10-year survivor and mother to a young boy. Sherry is nothing short of gorgeous. So ladies, grab your makeup and journal with a fresh face.
Love her will, outspoken gonna tell you how you feel. No fake news, no. Willpower gonna give you that real. Black girl power in heels, everyone's equal, that's how I feel. Black girl power in heels, everyone's equal, that's how I feel. Gotta love her will, you gotta never quit though. You gotta love her will, say that. You gotta love her will, you gotta love her will. Solid, you gotta love her will, you gotta love her will. Connect with your willpower.
Thank you so much, Sherry, for being here today. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good. Thank you for having me.
Yes, thank you so much for being here. You look gorgeous. Red is your color. I love it.
Thanks.
I love it. So you are a 10-year survivor.
Yes.
So I know it's been a while since you probably have talked about your journey, fully. So can you remember when and how did you discover your breast cancer?
Well, it was very casual. I was sitting on the couch one day. My husband and I were sitting there watching TV. I think I might have been teasing him a little bit, and I grabbed my left breast and I felt a little ball, tiny little pea-sized ball. And my husband at the time's mother had passed a year before of breast cancer. And he was the type of person that really didn't express concern. And when I let him feel, he was like, that's different. Maybe you need to go to the doctor. So I reached out to my gynecologist, wonderful gynecologist. She suggested that I would have a ultrasound. Okay. I went for my ultrasound, and they immediately wanted to do a mammogram that day. Okay. I was 28 years old.
Wow.
Yeah. The mammogram turned in a week later into a biopsy, and then they confirmed that it was stage 1 cancer.
Wow. Ooh, that is a lot at 28.
Yes, it happened very quickly.
Yeah. We're not thinking about being sick, or did you know anything about breast cancer? Did you have anybody in your family that's had it before?
I did not know anyone in my family that had breast cancer. Mm-hmm. I knew that there were cancer in my family. But during this time, I worked with a lady in retail who was out on medical leave for having breast cancer. She and I were very close. We went to church together. So I reached out to her when I found the lump, and she encouraged me to go to the doctor. She encouraged me to continue to figure out exactly what it was. I mean, we both thought maybe it was something temporary. I had lost a lot of weight. I had joint Weight Watchers at the time. So I was told that, a lot of times you lose weight, you can develop calcium deposits in your breast. Okay. And just her guidance helped me to make the decision and the courage to go and actually get this checked out.
Yeah. I'm so glad that you had a mentor to kind of help guide you through that situation. A lot of young women don't have that guidance, and they're just uncertain. So you didn't have any close family that had breast cancer. Were you ever told how you were diagnosed? Like what did you do the BRCA gene
Yes.
testing?
Because of my age, they automatically recommended me to get the genetic counseling. I did, and I learned that I am BRCA1 positive.
Okay. Okay. Wow. So how did you feel, like, knowing, was it a sense of comfort knowing that why you got it, like how you contracted breast cancer? Like, how were you feeling at that moment?
Well, up into from the biopsy to the actual test results, I felt it. I felt it in my heart that it was cancer.
Okay.
And there was a point of those days that I kind of made peace with it. I talked to a lot of my friends. One that I spoke of earlier she was going through that journey. She and I talked pretty much the entire week, and I had just made peace with it. The day that they told me that it was cancer, I did feel very overwhelmed the first couple hours. There was a lot of phone calls to people because everybody was waiting on my test results. Yeah. So I called almost everyone that I knew and let them know that, hey, this is what's happening. I think by the end of the day, I was a little bit numb.
Yeah. Yeah, I can definitely.
There was a lot of emotions.
Yeah. And it's almost like you don't know what to feel. And then, like you said, it was moving so fast. You don't have time to really think about what's going on. You're just kind of going through the motions and just listening to the doctors and doing what they said. So describe your treatment journey.
Well, because I learned that I was BRCA1 positive, the doctors at the time let me know statistics. I believe they told me that I still had a 67% chance of it coming back later in my life. At 28 years old, I had only been married about 8 months. And I decided to go on with this double mastectomy. I wanted to take those chances of it coming back down to, the less percentage. Right. It was a very hard decision for me. And it's a hard decision for most women, especially at that age. I had to thinking about, what my body's gonna look like after this at 28, 29 years old. There was a lot of research that I did online of looking at the reconstruction surgery. I joined a forum online of other women that had the reconstruction surgery. Reached out to them to see what they suggested, what were their concerns at their time of their surgery, and also before and after pictures. That was a big thing for me, was the before and after pictures, because I needed to know, what I'm gonna look like afterwards.
Yeah. Wow. Oh. And you were smart to kind of do a little research, but sometimes when we do research, it makes us even more scared or upset, especially using Google. I tell you, Google.
Oh, yes.
Google will get you in trouble.
It will.
Yes. It's like you want to be informed, but at the same time, as you're being informed, you're looking at you're reading things that are scary and you're seeing things that are scary. And it's really hard to do that.
Yeah, you have to find a balance.
Yeah.
And it was a lot of prayer, and just knowing someone that was currently going through it at the time.
Yeah. And then those two things is what kind of helps you get through. It really does. Did you do so how were you able to, so how did the treatments and surgeries make you feel? Identify the emotions that you felt during that process. How was that?
The first surgery was, I ended up doing the mastectomy first and doing chemo later. I did not do any radiation. The surgery was a very long surgery. And I just remember one of the first things that was said to me when I woke up in my hospital room, that was from my sister. And she said that one of the nurses told her that I was a tough cookie. And that carried on. That just throughout the entire journey is like I'm a tough cookie and I can get through this. And so that helped when I finally got home and I took the bandages off. I had not seen what I looked like in a while, and it was overwhelming. It was very overwhelming to see what I looked like without any breast. Very emotional, and I just had to remember, you're a tough cookie, you'll get through this. I, from there, started my reconstruction immediately. Weekly, I would go in and have the saline put in the tissue expanders. Shortly after that, I believe I started chemo. And then after the chemo, I went in for my reconstruction surgery.
Okay. And how were you working during this time, during your treatments? Or were you able to have support? No. Okay.
My husband and I both worked at the same company, and my job, unfortunately, I did not have short-term disability because of something that had happened a year prior. Okay. So I did stop working the entire time.
Okay.
He pretty much was the breadwinner. We had a lot of people that supported us as far as his father helped us out financially. My job at the time, they did a fundraiser and raised some money for me. So we pretty much penny pinched. I was home most of the time so I could work on a budget. And it was tight. But I mean, it with the help of my job, fundraising, and I believe there was another time that I had a group of friends that were musicians through a benefit concert for me locally here. Wow. And they raised some money there.
Oh wow, that's nice. That's nice. Yeah, and support is so important during this time. You really can't go through it alone. You gotta, and then if the financial piece of it is a major piece. It really is. It gets expensive, the treatments, and a lot of times we don't automatically qualify for Medicare or Medicaid, and so that we need those finances to help us keep living. Wow, that's amazing that they did that for you. I'm so happy that you had that support. So how did you take care of your mind during that time, while you were fighting that battle? How were you mentally?
Well, in all honesty, the mental part of it didn't come until afterwards. I just kept thinking I had to get through this. Yeah. And I went through it. There were times where I was depressed about the way that I looked. Yeah. But it was afterwards. After everything was over and I went back to work and life continued to go on. There was a lot of things that I went through personally, and over the years, it's just been therapy. Yeah. And reaching out and talking to other women who have been through the exact same thing that I have. Yeah. It's a continuous healing journey.
Yeah. Yeah. It really is. It doesn't end after treatment's over. Just like to remind everyone who's watching, we're still battling. Your friend is still battling, your cousin, your sister is still battling even after the treatments. And we need people to talk to. And it is comforting to kind of talk to other women that's been through what we've been through. And I like that you said that you kept telling yourself that you're just going to get through it. And that's what we have to do sometimes, just talk to ourselves and motivate ourselves. What can you say has been the biggest help during your breast cancer? Let's say this. What has been your biggest help and could help the next breast cancer survivor?
It's the support, reaching out to other women that have been through it. That is most important. Women together, we often feel alone. There's things that we go through as mothers, just women, that there's times where we feel like there's no one else going through that. There's always somebody else going through it, or someone that has been through it. Finding a good support system is, to me, one of the biggest benefits of going through this and healing. Having somebody walk there with you, even if it's not someone that is going through that exact journey. Finding someone that you trust, that you can confide in, that you can let that out. That is very important.
Yeah, it really is. And I like what you said about letting it out, because holding it in can cause stress, and stress can cause sickness. So you have to let it out. You have to let your emotions out. You have to cry it out. You got to yell it out. You have to be able to express yourself to the fullest. And a lot of times we can't do that with our family because we're trying to protect them as far as their emotions, and we don't want them to be sad or worried about us. So a lot of times we'll not be honest about what we're truly feeling. And that's why it's important to reach out to someone who's been through what you've been through, so you can just let it out, like you said. Yeah. What define willpower to you? And what would you say was the moment when you were finally like, I'm going to make it, I'm going to get through it?
I don't know if I have the exact definition for willpower. I would say that to me, willpower is the motivation to keep going. Even when you are you feel like there is nothing left. You feel like you are everything is on your shoulders. It's even if you have that little grain, that mustard seed of hope, use that as your willpower and just keep going. Because looking back, it was a horrible time, but then now I am where I am now. And if I had that little tiny mustard seed of hope that I'm going to get to the other side of this, that is your willpower to keep going.
Yes.
It is to me just everything. It's very important to have that hope.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. And like you said, even if you have a little bit, because some days you're not going to feel up to fighting, but if you just have that little bit of hope, it takes you a long way. Cancer treatments can affect your hormones, especially women that have to do hormone therapy after, force you into menopause. And I remember breaking out terribly in acne. What are some things that you've done to kind of help, make yourself feel pretty?
Well, and this is something that I do every day, and I still struggle with every day because, I'm dealing with the aftermath of having breast cancer and surgeries, and my body has changed. I've always had very low self-esteem even before cancer. during cancer, it got even worse afterwards. And over the last 10 years, I have developed my way of feeling good about myself, which is I've started putting myself out there and modeling.
Yeah.
It's very therapeutic for me. I absolutely love makeup. And makeup started, I was a tomboy before having cancer. I wore t-shirts and jeans, and the loss of my hair and eyebrows kind of started that journey.
Okay.
I got on YouTube, which was during this time, YouTube had just got big.
Okay.
And it was blowing up, and everyone was on, and they were, you know, showing how to do their eyebrows and their makeup. And one day I decided, you know, I didn't have any eyebrows and I wanted to go out.
Yeah.
So I watched the video and I learned how to draw my eyebrows on.
Yeah.
From there, that just exploded into, oh, you know, let's do eyeshadow, let's do foundation. And it became part of me, where I enjoy every day getting up and putting on makeup, even if it's just to go, you know, to the store, just to do a little something. I don't feel like I have to have a full face every day, but that's part of my self-care, is to take time for myself in the morning to do my hair, or to put on a little bit of lip gloss or lipstick. When you feel like you look good, you feel good about yourself, and that radiates towards the world.
Yeah, it really does. I love that. Yeah, that's true. It really is. And I can contest putting eyebrows on, it makes a big difference. It really does. I tell my family, if you see me with my eyebrows, that means I'm going somewhere. I'm feeling good that day. I'm ready to take on anything. It's almost like a superpower or something like that. But and then also wearing wigs. I enjoy putting wigs on and just changing my hair and just looking brand new. I enjoy it. And I love that you and I saw some of your pictures. I'm gonna pop one up here, right here. See, she's gorgeous. So I enjoy seeing your pictures on Instagram, and I can just see that light shining through. Like you said, when you radiate, everyone will see it. I love that.
Thank you.
So keeping it simple goes a long way. And like we said, sometimes we'll just put on some eyebrows. I like to throw on eyelashes. You know, sometimes you can throw on some lipstick and make it feel brand new. So today we're going to do a little tutorial, just an eyebrow tutorial for those that are watching. Is there anything else that you want to share that could help a fellow breast cancer survivor before we continue, Sherry?
I would definitely say, other than developing a good support system, even if it's just one or two people, make sure you are taking care of yourself. You spoke earlier about not wanting your family to worry about you, but I mean, that was something that I definitely did. But I think you have to be vocal to others and let them know that this is something that I need. I need to be able to talk, or I need to just, a day by myself, or I need to spend time by myself. I need to go take a walk. Whatever your needs are, you need to be very vocal.
Right.
Everyone, hopefully is very concerned for you.
Yes.
And that's very understandable. And I believe that, if they love and care about you, that they'll be able to give you that space that you need for yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a great point. It really is. Thank you for that. You've given us so many tools today. You've given us so much hope. And thank you for that. Thank you for sharing your journey. I know it's not easy because we're talking about times where we're vulnerable and we don't feel so great about ourselves. And I appreciate you sharing that we just have to have a mustard seed of hope and just keep fighting, talk our way through it, build a support team of people, and find ways just to make yourself feel beautiful. Thank you so much, Sherry, for being here. So ladies, let's go ahead and get into our tutorial. All right, don't y'all talk about me now. I never did make it on the camera.
I'm gonna take my eyebrows off.
Yeah, so we got glamorous for you guys, but now we're gonna remove that a little bit. I remember when I was doing this, I used to do just one line. I'm looking back at I was looking back at old pictures and I'm like, why didn't somebody tell me? But I think that was the style for a while. Do you remember
the very thin brows? Yes.
Yeah.
I think in the late 90s, early 2000s, to have the real thin brows for the thing.
Yeah, that was the thing. And I was like, okay, so maybe it wasn't too bad. But when I'm looking at these pictures, I'm just like, why didn't somebody say something?
Well, and I go back and look at pictures of myself when I started. There's a picture of me that my sister has on her Facebook page. I'm wearing a very short wig because I didn't want to wear anything long.
Yeah.
My hair had just started to grow back and I had these brows and they were the wrong color and they were very big and no one said anything to me.
Right. Right. It's like, come on, y'all. But, people don't want to hurt your feelings. So they're just like, maybe that's just what she meant to do.
Yeah. So I still don't have a lot of brows. My hair grew back, but my brows are very sparse. And I thought maybe over time that they would, but they didn't. They never thicken up. So I can still every day continue to draw on my brows.
Yeah. Have you thought about, I've thought about getting them tattooed. Have you thought about that?
I have, but unfortunately, because of the way that I scar, I develop a lot of keloids.
Okay.
There's like I have very large keloids on my left side of my left breast area.
Okay.
For multiple surgeries. So I decided, that's okay. I can draw my brows on every day. I've got 10 years experience now.
Right. It gets a lot faster once you get used to it.
And I think the benefit of not having any brows sometimes is depending on a photo shoot that I'm doing or a concert that I'm going to, that I can make my brows any color or any shape that I want them to be.
Right. Yeah, that's true. That's a good way of looking at it.
All right. So I'm not sure if you can see this.
Yep, I can see you real well.
Okay. What I normally do is I just take a regular pencil. Okay. It's by NYX Professional Cosmetics.
Okay.
And my hair is very dark, but I choose not to go dark with my eyebrows. You want to go a little bit lighter.
Okay.
Instead of going so dark, so they're not so harsh.
Okay.
So what I do, and excuse me, I'm looking for my other pencil here. This is my outline pencil. So I'll outline the bottom and the top, and then I fill in with another pencil.
Oh, okay.
For someone that doesn't really have any brows right now, you can follow your brow bone. And that's easy because you can just feel it.
Okay.
You can feel where your brow bone are. Some people might have little hairs that are still there, and you can see where they are and kind of follow from there. So what I do is I will start at the bottom and outline the bottom.
Okay.
And like you say, it's easier now that I've been doing it. And I have a little bit of a shadow so I can see what I'm doing. But I will follow my shape. And it's okay to make mistakes because it's just makeup, so it'll wipe off.
Right, that's true.
And to me, it's fun. You can play with the shape. You can decide, hey, you know, I like the way my brows look today. I'm gonna try that out every day.
Yeah, I like that. Having more confidence in changing the way your makeup looks.
So I do light strokes. I don't make a straight line. I just kind of light strokes. And then I will go to the top and do the top part of it.
Okay.
And then here, where I've kind of pulled my brow out here, this top part, I'll connect. And that creates your arch.
Okay. Yeah, looks good. Yeah.
So what I have learned is to go ahead and do the outline of the other side.
Okay.
And also what I've learned that is, and I think a lot of us try to get them to be even or to match.
Yeah, I do
But
that.
you have to remember, like, our face isn't symmetrical. So even on people that are not going through this and they have brows, their eyebrows and their eyes, they're not twins. So I don't try my best to get them perfect as I did when I first started. And there are tricks if you mess up to get them to your liking.
Yeah, mine's not symmetrical, but it works.
There's times where I might make them a little bit too long, and I'll just take my finger
Right.
and I'll do that.
Yeah.
So that's my outline. To fill them in, I use another pencil. You don't have to do this.
Okay.
You can easily just use the same pencil and just kind of fill it in.
Okay.
But I've used this pencil. It makes it faster. It's just if you're in a hurry, which I normally am in the morning time, but this pencil is shaped differently. I don't know if you can see that.
It's like a little angle brush.
Yes.
Okay.
So this is the outline pencil.
Okay.
And it's dirty. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
And then this pencil here, you
remember where you got that from? I need one of those.
This is Benefit's Goof Brow Pencil.
Oh, okay. That's pretty cool.
And it's chiseled.
Yeah.
So you can actually do the same thing, the outline with this one, because you can use the tip of it.
Okay.
And then turn it and fill in that way.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of a product junkie, so I use two pencils.
Okay.
So with this pencil, I'm just going to fill in my brow.
Okay.
And you will want to use your spoolie as well.
Okay.
So I just take this pencil and you just color it in. So you just think you outline, and then you're just gonna color it in.
Okay.
And I start at the back part.
Oh, okay.
And I wouldn't apply a lot of pressure. It's kind of the same thing where you're kind of just making these strokes and build up your color to your liking. There's days where my brows are a little bit darker than they were the day before, and that's fine.
Yeah, sometimes I've used black and I'm like, ooh, my eyebrows are real harsh.
Yeah, you want to definitely stay away from black. A very dark brown is what I use. So what I would do here is to get there's some gaps here. I would take my spoolie
Okay.
and just kind of brush it in. And
Okay.
what you're doing is you're spreading that product to kind of spread it out through the rest of the brow. And you'll just have to get a feel for, the shape that you like. There's some sparse spots here. And I will just take any pencil really just to kind of fill that in. And to spread it out with my little spoolie at the end here. Now, what I didn't do is to come up here. Naturally, our brows are thinner in the front than it is in the back.
Okay.
So you could do two things. You could just take a little bit and just kind of push it in the front.
Oh, that's a good idea. I forgot my spoolie, but that's a good idea. Okay.
Yeah. Or if you're someone that actually wears like foundation, what I have learned, and this still works to me now when I mess up, is I will take a little bit of my brush or my beauty blender or sponge that I've got a little bit of foundation left over on.
Okay.
And I will take this and just dab it.
Okay, that's what I'm gonna do.
And that just kind of blends that out where it's not so harsh in the front. And it looks more natural.
Oh, that's a good idea. Because sometimes what I end up doing is I'll put foundation on like a little angle brush, and then I end up putting too much foundation on my eyebrow.
Yeah. The sponge works a lot better. And then you can kind of just step, how do you like it? Brows are fun though. I used to be very, they had to be precise. They had to look a certain way. But over the years, I was just like, it's temporary. I'll see pictures. Hey, one day my brows were straight. One day they were super elongated. And it's fun because to me, I enjoy the part of dressing up is almost a facade.
Yeah.
I can be whatever person I want to be for the day.
Right. I love that.
So I'm gonna come to the other side and just fill it in the same way.
I always have trouble on the opposite side.
Yes, and I'm gonna show you if you're the type of person that you want them to be as close to the same shape, how to achieve that.
Oh, okay.
But I do think it's important to just to not spend so much time on them, kind of let them do what they're gonna do. Mine kind of have their own personality and I just let them do what they're gonna do.
Yeah. I'm definitely learning because I'll go and just start shading them in without even outlining.
Yeah, to me, the outline it's your guideline.
Yeah.
And you can from there, decide whether that's the right shape you want. You know, of course, it's easier just to kind of wipe it off if you decide that's not the shape I want. So I will take my spoolie a little bit and just kind of, and actually I do see a mistake that I made, so that's good. So I can show you for those who are perfectionists.
Yep, beautiful.
So I don't know if you can tell,
Yeah, I
but
need a
this
darker
one
pencil.
is
Yeah.
lower than that one.
Okay.
Now, I don't have one on me, but if I'm in a hurry, I will just take a Q-tip and
Okay.
just clean that up.
Yeah, that's smart. Okay.
But if depending on who you are and whether or not you want them to be like perfect, you can use two things to perfect them even more. Some people want a highlighted brow.
Okay.
You can use concealer to clean it up. Or you can just use your foundation.
Okay.
Since I already have makeup on, I'm gonna use the foundation that I have on today.
Okay.
But what I would do, I have to find my brush here. Let's see.
I have a hard time finding a dark enough brown because I feel like this brown's still not dark enough for me.
I think you would benefit from using what I have here, the Goof Proof pencil that I showed you earlier.
Yeah, I need to write that down.
This color is, what is this? This is number 6, and this is the darkest color that they have, and it's not black.
Okay, that's what I need because
Yeah.
I see my brows, but they're still kind of like faint. You know what I mean? They're not.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to really lean in to see it. And
what pencil are you using?
It's this pencil right here. I might be using the wrong kind of pencil because it says number 2 dark brown. So I guess like the hair color number 2.
Yeah, I think you need to use something a little bit darker than that.
Yeah.
There's another pencil that I have here that I haven't opened yet. I bought these in bulk.
Yeah, I'm gonna Google this Goof Proof. So Goof
There
Proof
is.
Okay.
Now the Goof Proof is on the expensive side. I think it's $24.
Okay.
I only use it to fill in the
Okay.
pencil. The best one that I have found,
Mhm.
and I'm trying to get it open here. You can get this at the drugstore. You don't have to go to Ulta. You don't have to go to Sephora. You can go to CVS. I bought a 3-pack on the Amazon. 3-pack of these pencils are $12.
Okay.
This is the LA Girl Shady Slim Brow Pencil, and the color is blackest brown.
Okay.
And basically, it's the same as this one. But it's more affordable. This pencil here is about $9.
Okay.
Where this one you can get 3 for $12 on Amazon.
I'm gonna look that up today.
Yeah. And for anybody that like goes to the hair stores to get wigs or whatever your hair product is, normally they sell LA Girl because LA Girl is one of those brands that you can find anywhere.
Okay.
Yeah, I would look up blackest brown in LA Girl.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna look that up.
So for me to clean this up here, I'm just gonna take a little bit of foundation, and what I use is an angled eyebrow pencil, or excuse me, eyebrow brush.
Okay.
Has an angle on it. It don't have to be an expensive brush. You can just find one anywhere.
Yeah.
But I'll take a little dab of foundation, and I mean a tiny dab.
Yeah, you can barely see it.
Yeah. Well, you
Like your
probably can't see
tattoo.
my tattoos.
Yeah, it's pretty. Okay, I see it now. Yep.
And then I will take my brush,
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
and then I'll clean up this brow.
Okay.
So basically, it's kind of like you outlining and cleaning it up with foundation instead of your pencil.
Okay.
And you're just cleaning up that line. And if you want to, you can use your finger to kind of smooth it out, or you can just use a brush to kind of just where you don't see the line of demarcation.
Right, because you don't want it to be so obvious that you outlined your eyebrows.
Yep.
You want it to blend in.
And that's it.
Yeah, they look perfect. I learned a lot today.
Thank you. Yeah, I would suggest just practicing. If you just have time, or
And I do.
just sit there and practice with your brows, the shape of them, the color. Like,
I
if
might
you're
try
in
that color thing. What colors have you used?
Oh, well,
I go for a burgundy to match my hair.
I will have to send you a few pictures, and you can do the color with anything. But if you don't have any, eyeshadow works best.
Oh.
Yeah, you can actually take any of your eyeshadows.
Okay.
And what I would do is, instead of using a pencil, if you don't have a colored pencil, that brush that I just showed you,
yeah,
you can actually do the same thing with the powder and I outline with color.
Yeah. Okay.
And then you can use the same brush and fill in with color.
Right. Okay. That's a great idea. I like that. Okay. All right, y'all. Don't act funny when I pop on here with my burgundy brows or red brow or something. Yeah, I love that. I've learned so much from you today. I'm inspired. I feel more hopeful about my own personal journey after hearing your story and just how bright you're shining, every day. I'm just so fortunate to have met you. Thank you so much for trusting me with your story and sharing with us some tips on our eyebrows. I mean, I've learned so much. I'm gonna feel like I'm all that now. When I get the right color brows and stuff, I'm gonna be stunting. But thank you guys for watching Love Her Will, the new voice of Willpower. Please like, please share, comment. Comments, they go a long way. And be blessed, be encouraged. Love Her Will. Bye-bye.